got to get your response to the president saying something I could imagine Huey Long said about an opponent or two in his time. Mr. Biden is against God.
Yeah, my money's on God in that matchup. I think God's going to be just fine. What you see here is a candidate who's just flailing around. They had planned to run on the economy. Now we have the worst economy in the history of the country. And they planned to run against socialism if it was Bernie Sanders. And Joe Biden just isn't a very good candidate to make people afraid of. I mean, even his own nickname, Sleepy Joe Biden, that's not a name that makes, women and children run screaming from the room. So they're just sort of lost now. And campaigns go through stages like this, and sometimes they get found and they settle on a message that works. But right now, they're just lost.
Let's speak a little truth about your adversaries for most of your time in politics, and that would be the Democrats. They can find 9 million ways to screw this up. You know that, including but not limited to the purity testing we are going to hear from Democrats the minute Biden announces his choice for vice president. But the question to you, Stuart, is do you find the biggest risk to them overconfidence or unforced errors?
Oh, I don't think they're going to be overconfident, given what happened in 16 and where the polls are. And the polls are not that dissimilar now than they were with Hillary Clinton. I've been very impressed with the Biden campaign. It's very difficult to start as a front runner and stumble badly as they did and not try to do something to completely remake the candidacy. It seldom works. But there's just such hydraulic pressure to do it. You're down, 35-0 at the end of the third quarter in the Super Bowl. You're going to stick with your game plan? Well, they did. I think they made the decision. The vice president made the decision. They were going to win or lose with who Joe Biden was. And, damn it, they didn't win. And that's pretty rare. And it shows, I think, a maturity and a comfortableness with who he is. They're not going to be baited into running a race that they don't want to run. And I think this vice presidential pick is going to be uniquely important because Biden himself says that he's a transitional candidate. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will. I want to throw on the screen 3 tight Senate races that few people would have believed, just a year ago would have been tight. Graham, Harrison on the upper right, South Carolina, dead heat. Maine, Gideon, Collins, basically a statistical dead heat within the margin of error. Ditto, Kentucky. Do you believe these numbers? And if so, what do you think it means?
I think it means that this is a very negative environment for Republicans. You have a top of the ticket that is dragging everything down. I've seen, like this latest Monmouth poll, they had Donald Trump's very unfavorable at 48%. The hardest thing in politics is to take someone who's very unfavorable and get them to vote for you. That makes sense. So if it's 48% has a very unfavorable view of Trump, that just gives them a very small margin of error. So it's a bad environment for an incumbent. I mean, if I just woke you up in the middle of the night and I said, look, Brian, it's the worst economy in the history of the country. And 160,000 people, more people than have ever died before in a 4-month period, have died in America. How do you think the incumbent's doing? You wouldn't say, well, he's doing great. He's got it in the bag. There's just external forces out there that make this a very tough race for Republican incumbent party.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.